Beautiful. How many of you feel like you're in over your head? Okay, a few of us. Well, if you feel like you're drowning, then we got things a little backwards. But if you're in over your head because exactly the words of that song, you're plugged into the infinite love of God, then we've got it right. Well, you have it right even if you've got it wrong, because it's all good. But anyway, I want to make sure today, this theme today is imagine, that you and I leave understanding we are part of a power greater than we can even imagine. A power that we're part of, but so much greater than we are, and it's here for us to use. It's in the Bible says, fear not, little flock. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The gift has been given. Not to some people, to everyone alike. Doesn't matter how old, how young, how big, how small, whatever, it's given to everybody alike. But you and I decide how much power, how much of the kingdom we're going to use, and how we're going to use it. You see, we're spiritual beings having this human experience, and this human experience is a blessed gift. It's a blessed gift. We are here to learn from it, to love in it, and to be part of it. Yet it's pretty tough sometimes. It's pretty tough. And we get to decide if we're going to use that power for good to create and imagine and expand and grow our consciousness towards the good, the light, the love, the harmony, the peace, the abundance, the joy, the possibility, the fun, the laughter, the good. Could we hear a little comment on that one, please? Yes, we want that one. Or we're going to use that same power to pollute, to destroy, to bring down the good that's possible. We choose. We choose every moment of our life. We choose how we're going to use that power. One of the main tenets of science of mind, or one of the main thoughts, is for us to disentangle ourselves from this physical being. Doesn't mean get over it, leave it alone, but disentangle ourselves, because I don't know, this human life can hijack us sometimes. You know what I mean? It can grab us and get us and pull us off track, out of alignment with the good. Have you been there in the last 5 minutes? It can pull us off track. I was on the acupuncture table on Friday, and gosh, in the most peaceful place and peaceful music and loving thought. Of course, I had needles all over me. I guess that, but it was peaceful and beautiful and wonderful. And I didn't even get it, but I got hijacked. Fear took over like that. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? What is that? I was in this peaceful place. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, where it just takes over. And because what we know is that we are a teaching philosophy. We teach the tools. We teach the tenets. We teach and teach how to get back in alignment with our good. So I'm sitting on the table, God and I are one. God and I are one. I am the face of God. And I knew how to just move back into that place. But I asked before I went there, I said, okay, is this my fear? But we know that we live in a collective consciousness. And this human mind of ours, which is a great tool, can get into patterns and habits. Some of them belong to us. Some of them were given to us by our family. Some of them were given to us by the community. And some of us were given to us just because of the collective consciousness of all time. So I said, okay, is this fear mine, or does it belong to a collective consciousness? I couldn't really move, so I was kind of like this. But I was asking the question. And it said, both. Great, okay. But I aligned myself and got back into the I disentangled myself from that fear, from that problem, because this human mind will take us in crazy places. So we need to disentangle ourselves from being controlled by the human physical experience and thinking we are our body, we are our age, we are our bank account, we are our work, we are this, and realize that we are spiritual beings first and foremost, having this amazing gift of a human experience. There's a quote from the textbook that I just thought was really beautiful. It said, during our life, many things happen that may appear to be destructive. We may pass through good fortune and bad, but if we can come to a point where we're not disturbed by things, which doesn't mean they don't happen, but it means we know what to do with them. When we're not disturbed by things, then we have found the secret of life. We have found the secret of life when we know what to do. So what's a tool for us to be able to disengage ourselves from the luring, hijacking of this physical world? What can we do so we can disentangle ourselves, so we can embrace our physical being and remember that we are not those things out there. We are the way love, light, God, creativity, joy, harmony, wisdom knows itself. We are the way that life knows to express. Life knows to express. That's the truth of who we are. How do we get back in alignment with that? Well, today's topic is imagine. It's imagine because it's our imagination that is the creative essence that we have that can create something larger than whatever we're experiencing in this moment. It's our imagination. Ernest Holmes said, everything is created first in imagination. You know, I heard a story where there were some people at Disney World, and one of the parents was saying, oh my gosh, I wish Walt Disney could have seen this place. And the other one said, he did. That's why it's here. The idea always comes first. We have to have an idea for our good, an idea for our health, an idea for our abundance, an idea for our possibility, an idea for our love. We have to have an idea first. Actually, it's the ideas that are real about us. When our ideas get manifest into form, the minute something takes form in this physical world, it starts to decay. Because that's the process in this physical world, the cyclical process. Our spiritual ideas don't decay. They get to expand and grow and become more and more and more. Yet, we can let our imagination go wild. Right? Crazy wild thoughts. Like a fast-moving film that's just jumping around from a million different things, and it's hard to focus and manifest if we have wild and crazy thoughts jumping around. What our imagination needs, because this physical world is very much about balance, is the power of our will. And in the Science of Mind glossary, it defines will as decision coming into execution. To will is to determine by an act of choice. So we get to choose what we imagine. We get to use that power of choice, our will, to focus that creative potential we have. We get to focus it by creating a mental image of what we know is true from the inside out. What we do in at meetings and what we practice here on our board and the leadership teams is we do visioning. We vision coming from the inside out. What's God's highest vision for the InSpirit community? What's God's highest vision for this team? What's God's highest vision for my life right now? Visioning from the inside out, the mental image, creating the imagination from the inside out. We need to focus our imagination. and use it to create amazing things. When have you used or created or manifested something wonderful, something beyond what your human mind thought possible? You've all done that. Everybody's done that. I mean, that's what we grew up. I mean, that's amazing. We learned to talk, just simple. But what have you done in your life that is just this amazing creation? Wow. That power never, ever stops. That same power that helped create and bring forth this amazingness in your life is always there for us to use. It's always there. We need to focus it and work with it. Work with it. You know, the ancient Egyptians were very, very spiritual people. And they really knew how to use the power of creativity and focus on it. They had a deep connection to death and the afterlife. Now, the ancient Egyptians believed that when they died, their soul would go, their body, their soul, their beingness. They believed they had a life force called Ka, a life force that was eternal. Like we do. We believe our souls, our life force is eternal. And on that judgment day, that day when they died, they would go to this judgment place and they'd be judged on how well they lived their life. Free of negativity, in alignment with truth and wisdom, and in service. And depending on how well they lived, it would decide the destination for their soul, their life force. So I did a little reading last night, if we could have the first slide, from one of these 3,000-year-old papyruses. Just kidding. That thing would have fallen apart. But these are the personal books of the dead that the ancient Egyptians would write, because they wanted to visualize and picture their life in alignment with all the things I said, free of negativity, in alignment with truth and wisdom, and filled with service. And so they would go to any shop, one of the shops in Cairo, and there was a funerary text that had 142 scenes. And they would pick one or two of these scenes. Now, if we could go to the next picture, please, the next slide. One of these scenes. Now, this is a picture from the British Museum, which houses 3,500 of these personal Book of the Dead. And they would choose what scene they wanted to depict, to focus on in their life. And they'd hang these or hold these beautiful images in their home, and they'd look at them every day and imagine them, that their life was the judgment day, that they could see themselves balanced and free and accepted. They'd hold that vision, and they'd align their life to it. And could we go to the next picture, please? And this is just one of the texts, one of the pages of that 142-page text. And if you can see in the middle, there's a balance, a scale. And this is the most chosen picture of the 142 pictures. And it's called Weighing of the Heart. You see, at the time of death, one of the judgments is their heart would be weighed against the feather of Maat, which is the goddess of truth and wisdom. And she would take the ostrich feather from her headdress and put it on the scale. And your heart was to be no lighter or no heavier than the feather of truth and wisdom. How's your heart doing? Well, I'll give you a hint. It is said that everything that comes out of our mouth proceeds from the heart. So you can know what state your heart is in by seeing the words that come out of your mouth. What comes out of your mouth will tell you if that heart is filled with negativity, doubt, meaninglessness. I don't know where it is, the light or the heavy. And you can alignment with truth and wisdom. We're on a spiral journey of evolving. Now, we don't believe in Judgment Day, but what we do believe is that we are on an evolutionary path of learning. And we learn it until we get it. We learn it until we get it. Does that make sense? We get it until we learn it. We keep doing it until we get it. That makes sense. We keep doing it until we get it. How many of you are a little dizzy? Okay, just checking. But so here we go. But I want to show you there is something to strive for. So this Ani, this is the Book of the Dead of Ani. And Ani was known for his great service to the world. He gifted people that needed. He helped life. What a beautiful picture he has. If we could have, or she, I'm not sure. Next picture. Now this one is a little simpler. This I can't pronounce the name, the Book of the Dead of N. And she was a singer. And the ancient Egyptians believed that singers and musicians naturally had lighter hearts. Okay, choir, raise your hand so we can all look at you. Woohoo! Okay, woohoo! And those of you that sing, raise your hand. Woohoo! With lighter hearts, okay? So we could start practicing now. And musicians had lighter hearts. So Kirk, Grant, Tony, woohoo! Lighter hearts. Next one. This is also the one of a singer and a musician. And keeping your heart light. Keeping your heart light. Beautiful. You know, for me, and thank you for those, and those came from the, as I said, the British Museum, and they were given to me by Dr. Jim Van Cleve, who has done some great study in this, and those were a great gift for us to be able to see. So thank you, Jim, and thank you, British Museum. For me, I try to evaluate each day on how I can be living my best life, which I'm sure you do also, to keep myself in alignment. And boy, sometimes I fall off pretty royally. And sometimes I am doing things I don't even recognize that I'm doing that aren't quite in alignment with the truth and wisdom. But let me read to you a really freeing thought. This comes from our Science of Mind textbook, and it says, never limit your view of life by your past experiences. That's not where we're to view our life. What we're here to do is to learn and imagine something greater. I guarantee you, if you take 10 minutes every day, do you have 10 minutes? What's the answer? Yes. Of course we have 10 minutes to imagine the good that's possible in our life. Of course we have 10 minutes. We have a lot more than that, but if we only took 10 minutes every day and just imagined the good that's possible for us right now, if we just imagined in this moment and used our will to direct our imagination to the good that's possible for us right here, then we'd be creating something wonderful. We have to step away. There are tough things in this world, yes, because that's part of the beauty of this. We need the dichotomy of the good and the bad to really appreciate the gift of life itself. So to appreciate life is an ever unfolding gift for you and for me. So, you know, I see a lot of people that are pretty tangled up right here and right now. So I want you to untangle yourselves. And I want you to just open yourself and close your eyes for just one moment here. I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes and breathe in. And tap into this power that's here for us, the kingdom of heaven, if we call it that. This power of good, this vibration of love and light. And I'm going to invite you to rekindle the spark of imagination that is you right now. Rekindle that imagination. And just imagine right now that something wonderful is happening in your life. Whatever it is, love, light, wisdom, joy, peace, harmony, whatever it is, abundance, that it's yours right now. And let that imagination that's got a high vibration of goodness, let it move through your body as you release negativity, as you release whatever might weigh that heart down, the negativity, the fear, the harm we might be thinking against others, revenge, greed, lack of forgiveness, Just let it go. To truly remember that we are here on a spiritual journey of awakening, that we've chosen to be here at a time when this world is calling to be woken up to the light of goodness, of oneness, that we are here because we have chosen to be here at this time to do our work, to be part of this amazing life. And just feel that goodness that's encircling you and filling you. Letting go of whatever it is in this physical realm, disentangling ourselves from it so we can release it and letting go. Let our will and our imagination be focused on the good that's at hand right here and now and always, forever, infinitely. Not occasionally, infinitely, to everyone, always. And just let it flow through you. And remember, I am the way love knows itself. I am the way light knows itself. I am the way God and infinite good knows itself. And knowing that it's truly not enough just to know what is wonderful and good for you, let that flow to the people next to you. Let that goodness flow to the people next to you. Knowing the goodness, the possibility, the joy, the abundance, the happiness that flows to the people next to you. That whatever they are dealing with, whatever you're dealing with, is part of this human experience, and there's something more that wants to be revealed. Something more. But hold on, don't get too comfortable. We talk every Sunday about not getting too comfortable. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's not about getting too comfortable. We have to do more than that. Yes, we can sit and we can pray for ourselves and work on being in alignment with good. That's the first step. But you and I called to be here at this planet at this time because there's a bigger possibility. When we speak the vision that we have for the Centers for Spiritual Living as creating a world that works for everyone, that can seem huge, but we're part of that. You and I signed up for that. We chose to be here at this time because we want to be part of a greater good. We want to see a world that works for everyone. We want to live in oneness, accept and honor diversity, not needing to be right, but being there to be together, to bring understanding and peace to our world. We chose that. So right now, as we listen to the beautiful words of the song being sung, I invite you to envision, use your imagination to create a world that is working for everyone.